So we have our first session of the day, which is going to be a pitch competition. So I hope you're all excited, especially you entrepreneurs. We are going to be joined in a moment here by Katie Rosen Kitchens. She is the editor-in-chief and co-founder at FabFitFun. So excited to have you here today, Katie. Thank you so much for joining us. Katie will be here to give all of you viewers a glimpse into the history of FabFitFun, the evolution of the box, because in case you don't know, it is this awesome seasonal subscription box, and the membership as a whole to FabFitFun. Following her presentation, she will also be joined by the CMO, Louisa Wee, and the SVP of Merchandising and Brand Partnerships, Ryan Waymar, to host the official pitch competition that I did mention, Pitchin with Kitchens. So excited, love me a good pun. And yeah, we're going to be looking for talent today and the opportunity to win a chance to be featured in an upcoming sale. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, Katie.
Oh, we're super excited and grateful to be here. Love that cute little pup on your lap. We too are a super dog friendly office at FabFitFun, and I am so missing my daily dog fix. Like I need to get back into the office so I can pet all the puppies.
Yeah, it sounds like it. At Hawke, we have a dog's Slack channel. So at the very least, we can share some photos and the fuzziness in that way.
I love it. Well, again, thank you for the incredible intro. It was a lot of hype to live up to. So hopefully we will get you guys that great content. And should I just kick it off, start sharing my screen?
Absolutely. Please take it away.
All right, let's do it, guys. All right, here we go. And 1 second. Welcome to the world of virtual conferences, but okay, awesome. We did it. All right. So again, we are so excited to be joining e-commerce week, to be speaking amongst all the inspiring entrepreneurs and learning from each other's experiences. As our product offering is always evolving to sort of satisfy the needs of our growing members, we're constantly on the hunt for the latest and greatest in beauty, fashion, fitness, home, and tech. So today, as Ashley mentioned, we have the unique opportunity to host a little contest that, yes, we're calling Pitchins with Kitchens. Sorry about that, where we will hear from some amazing new brands about why they're building and why they or what they're building and why they should be featured in an upcoming sale or box. It's actually our first time hosting a pitching competition, and being that it's a virtual one, we're gonna see how it goes, fingers crossed. But we're excited to hear from some really great new talent out there. But before we dive in, I wanted to give you guys a little background on the company, how the box came about, how it's evolved over the years, and how we currently work with our brand partners. All right. Okay, so what is FabFitFun? So for those of you who don't know, FabFitFun is a lifestyle membership with the mission of delivering happiness and well-being to everyone, everywhere. We are best known for our flagship product, which is the FabFitFun subscription box, which includes a highly curated selection of full-size products across beauty, fashion, fitness, wellness, home, and tech that is sent out to over 1.5 million people each season. It's a lot of people getting these boxes these days. So my co-founders and I actually started FabFitFun as a newsletter back in 2010. And in the past 10 years, both the business and, personally me as an entrepreneur have really changed quite a bit. When we started as a newsletter, we were strictly in the media game. And that game was, very much filled with glossy magazines, really telling women, what they were supposed to look like and how they were supposed to act. And as a Puerto Rican, Jewish, chubby girl with lots of curly hair who did not fit those stereotypes, We knew that we wanted to be something different, not your high fashion glossy or even Goop. Sorry, Gwyneth, we still love you. But more like your best friend who just happened to know everything about beauty, fashion, and fitness. But differences aside, we were all still fighting for those same advertising dollars to fuel the site. And it was, definitely a hustle. From very early on, we knew that we wanted to evolve the business and make it something bigger. We didn't just want to write about products. We wanted to actually put them into people's hands and offer them that same sense of excitement, of discovery that we were experiencing as editors as we were testing and writing about all of these different amazing products. So since launching the box in 2013, we've grown and evolved pretty quickly. In 2015, we launched our e-commerce platform, which really changed the way and the cadence members interacted with the brand. In 2018, we surpassed 1 million members. We have over 6 million social media followers across our channels, and we see over 25,000 comments in our community each week. And then in 2019, we closed a Series A fundraise led by Kleiner Perkins, and have grown our team to over 500 employees. All right, the membership. So, the funding really allowed us to invest into the membership. We always say that we are more than a box, and it's very true. FabFitFun was really built to look at a woman holistically, to give her all of the tips and tricks and products and friendships, that you need to live your happiest and most fulfilled life. And that means more than just, tangible things. We see our membership really as the intersection of, content, commerce, and community. So with the membership, you get the box, of course, 4 times a year. But you also get access to our amazing content. It's our inbox magazine. We do a deeper content dive on our online website and through our newsletter. And of course, FabFitFun TV, where we have thousands of workouts, wellness videos, cooking tutorials, etc. So commerce, we host incredibly eventized flash sales where members shop thousands of products at the best prices they can find anywhere online or in real life. And then our community. So this is our members only social network of women. We see members talk about everything from what they got in their boxes to their favorite products, to ways to ease anxiety during these crazy times. And they're really on there all day, all night. And it's, an amazing way to connect our members, as well as get, real-time feedback, both good and bad, but we'll take it. Last year, we also launched our clubs, so cooking, book, moms, even reality TV, to deepen those bonds and connections and often link back to eCom. And we've seen so many incredible stories of, members traveling across the country to help a sick friend that they've made when we could do that, or sending care packages to another member in need. And of course, now more than ever, these virtual connections mean so much. The box only comes 4 times a year, but the perks and the membership as a whole really do last all year round. It's constantly evolving, and we're always providing members with what they need right now. Okay, so let's dive into the actual box a little bit. So after running it as the newsletter for about 3 years, we launched the box in the spring of 2013, and it really was like the rebirth of the company. We sold out of the first box in about 24 hours, and we've been growing ever since. It's very much the anchor of our membership and the starting point to connect those dots between community and content. The way that we curate and the customization technology has really allowed us to evolve our membership over the years. Okay, so curating. I will say that curating the first box was a very different experience than our current process. First off, when it came to finding products, it was a lot of cold calls, a lot of begging, a lot of no's, and even you sound crazy and don't know what you're talking about. But when I would hear no, I would turn it into no problem, call me back later, and just kept going. And luckily, some of those no's eventually turned into yeses. In addition, when we started, I was curating for a small group of women who all came from the website and were very much like my demo. So chances were high that if I liked a product, they were going to like it as well. So I chose 8 products. We sent the same box out to everyone, and that was that. But we knew early on that as we scaled, we'd have to reimagine the way that process looked because, as you may guess, a 16-year-old in San Diego probably doesn't want the same product as a 65-year-old in Kansas City. And we have both of those women in our membership. So these days, we have an amazing trend-focused merchandising team who's consistently on a mission of finding the best, most innovative products for our boxes and sales. So the process starts with our strategy development to identify, key trends, colors, new ingredients, and emerging brands. During this stage, we partner with consumer insights to survey and understand our members' needs and wants, and we take those learnings to start our line plan. Next, our buyers get to work. Every potential brand has a Q score and every potential product gets a forecasted rating. And when we think about the products we can include, sometimes that's buying a product that already exists in a brand's line. And sometimes that's collaborating on an exclusive or limited edition product where our own sourcing and PD teams are working with the brand to launch something entirely new. After that, we work on finalizing the assortment. We make sure there's something for everyone. And we include, really sort of big, well-known brands that really establish the retail value of the box, and then pair that with emerging brands that help with the sort of surprise and delight that we want to give our members each season. We do a ton of testing across the entire org to make sure that our products work on different skin tones, skin types, body shaped, hair types, you name it. It's very much a puzzle. And then when we put together the different choices, we look at metrics like dislike overlap to ensure that every choice that we offer has a product that will make a member happy. We take into account where members live, the weather, how different products may work for different age groups, you name it. Finally, we look at purchase motivators and the forecasted split choices to really determine the quantities of each product. Once we feel like we got it, that we have something for everyone, have great stories to tell, we get our orders in. When the boxes are ready to roll, customization comes next. So this has been a huge area of focus for us as we scale, and our membership just becomes more and more diverse. One box no longer fits all, and we want to make sure that our hashtag FabFitFun is for everyone is really more than just a hashtag. We collect a ton of data in our onboarding survey. And as I mentioned, we're also constantly surveying our members to understand how their needs may be changing. So these days, customization works basically in 2 ways. Depending upon your tier of membership, you can pick a certain number of products in your box. Often members are choosing between a truly diverse group of offerings. So think an eyeshadow palette, an electric diffuser, or an oversized scarf. Or if you want all the surprise and delight, our amazing group of data scientists will choose for you based on your profile. So, what was once one variation of the same 8 products is now hundreds and thousands of variations each season, so that we make sure that we're not just picking great products, but they're really, that we're really picking great products for you. All right, so you're going to hear me say this a million times, but we really are so much more than a box. eCom is one pillar of the business that has really helped to expand, to help us expand rather, and to continue to work with smaller brands as we scale. We launched eCom in 2015 as a way to honestly just work through some excess FabFitFun inventory. But these days, it's more than 30% of the business, with highly curated sales happening throughout the year. This allows the discovery to continue beyond your box. And in our sales, we guarantee the best prices that members can find anywhere. The sales are also heavily eventized. So we tease out products, and honestly, members are talking about what they're going to buy days or weeks before the sale, and even fighting in a friendly way, of course, to be the first ones in. It's honestly something they take off work for, and they feel like they're doing it together, which is pretty cool to watch. Okay, so when it comes to our product selection, we are always thinking about storytelling. Our members are diverse, as I mentioned. We really do have members 15 all the way up to 80 plus. They have individual interests and needs, and our goal is to make sure that we have something for everyone. That means offering diverse products from diverse founders with diverse stories. We're not always interested in the fancy label or the cheapest product. We want to know what makes you different, special, innovative, and worth the pretty big PO. So our members are here for the stories, for sure. They love to hear how items are sourced, the unique ingredients the brands use, the founding story, the inspiration, what fueled their passion and innovation. They care about what they're putting on their body and on their shelves. They care about sustainability, and most importantly, that the products work for them. Once the products are picked, and the stories are captured, then it's all about the marketing. And honestly, I think sometimes this is really where we shine. So we have many, many different channels of not only promoting the box, but all of the brands inside. It's a true 360 campaign for our partners. It includes a crazy amount of content featured on our digital site, in our magazine, social promotion, bounce back offers, influencer marketing. Each season, the box gets seeded to thousands of celebrities and influencers who do unboxings across their social media channels. Unboxings are something that we've been doing from the very beginning of the box. And there's a very real documented psychological response consumers have to watching unboxings. It makes you feel nostalgic and happy, and it's why unboxings are the #1 videos on YouTube. And what's even more fun is that our members take a cue from influencers and do their own unboxings, and it just creates this supernova of UGC each season. I do founder chats where we host our brand partners in Q&As, where they tell their story, show their products, tell us how to use it. And all in all, it's hundreds of millions of impressions for the brands, or a couple Super Bowl commercials all rolled into one at no cost to the brand. So we obviously love sharing amazing products with our members, but we also love helping brands find lifelong customers through FabFitFun. We've worked with hundreds of brands over the years, and we're so proud to have built a platform that allows brands the opportunity to be discovered. So before we go into the competition, we're going to watch a little video from our brand friends. And guys, it's kind of like a shameless plug here, but it'll be fun. So let's check it out. Okay.
I think it was a great experience working with the team. One of the things that we really value the most is how engaged and how helpful the team was.
As a new brand, it's really hard to get your name out.
The FabFitFun team has been a game changer for our brand.
We really feel like it played a big part in putting us on the map.
We sat down with the teams and really build a product and bring a product to market that, fit the needs of both our brand, Point Studio brand, as well as the FabFitFun consumer.
They do the marketing for you. They get the word out for you. It's the advertising that you would need as a brand for the people that would want your product.
They really support you in terms of having you go on Facebook Live and all these different exposure channels where you can continue to grow your brand.
We were featured in the FabFitFun fall box with our Hawke pack.
When the box went out, we saw results instantly.
That was something where we were getting thousands of searches a day for that product, people interested in what it was, what it's about.
Now we are definitely a brand that is well known in the US and in the entire country.
We were able to create a product that we would have thought about. So you guys definitely helped us expand the things that we could offer.
A bunch of boxes will go out, we'll fill it automatically in the website. We'll see a few days after, you see 200,000 people receive the box, and you see a lot of them coming to visit the website.
The ability to have product in the hands of our consumers in the world of today is so important, to have the possibility for them to try and to really experience how the product deliver and feel.
They're actually taking this product home to try and seeing if they actually like it.
When you're working with masses, like 1 million customers and 1 million subscribers, it gives you insight into a demographic that you could only dream of.
There's other people in the United States that are not that familiar, and when they get the box, I think people are intrigued to know who's the brand that's in the box, and they read about it, and then they go to the website.
The feedback on the fragrance that we added in the box was just incredible, and it's really solidified that particular fragrance as one of our top sellers.
This really built up our credibility online as a brand, as a startup brand. I know this is extremely important to do.
I think just being able to open up our demographic and being able to think bigger picture about what people want.
This was our first opportunity to really partner with a brand that really knows what they're doing with influencer marketing, and I think does it better than probably anybody in the market today.
One of the biggest pushes was a dedicated Instagram post. We just saw an immediate rise in traffic on all of our social media channels and our e-commerce site. So we saw a really impactful ROI after we partnered with FabFitFun. We saw tremendous engagement on social. So many fans really complimented the products that we offered in the box. What was really great is that they didn't just come back and buy another scrub. Over 35% of them experienced or tried other products and helped us to grow our business overall.
We were able to give our retailers collateral, meaning the videos or the images of celebrities talking about our products, talking about our brand.
We know that the customers that came from this program are actually almost all new to the brand. So almost 90% of the customers we've got are new to the brand, and for us it's a great awareness building.
When we first did the campaign with you guys, we were at, I think, 48,000 on Instagram, and now we're up to 62,000.
There were celebrities, if I remember correctly, like Kourtney Kardashian posted about our product.
We saw a huge growth in our social media platforms. We had 200 followers, and after the campaign, we had over 2,000 followers.
Sales were up almost 300%. We actually had to reorder into the product 3 times because we sold out so fast.
The traffic on our site alone increased by about 35%. The direct-to-consumer business increased by about 25%. And then our wholesale reach also increased and opened up doors, and it's continuing to open up doors. We would do it again and again and again, and we'll continue to do it. And we love FabFitFun. We love the FabFitFun family.
It was very exciting to see all the people opening the boxes and getting excited over the product.
Every person that partners with FabFitFun, you're getting this huge list of things from them that they're going to make sure to make happen. And your brand will go from here to here. So it's really up to you.
All right, guys, I swear I do not pay them to say that, although I probably would. because it's awesome. All right, guys. But, you know, as I mentioned, it definitely takes a village to create the boxes, find the products, create content, market the products. And I'm so lucky to have an amazing team curating and crafting all day, every day. Joining me today on my judges panel, we have our Chief Marketing Officer, Louisa Wee, as well as our SVP of Merchandising and Brand Partnerships, Ryan Waymeyer. All right, guys, turn on your cameras. It's time to get judging. Hi, guys. How you doing today?
Good. Great. Excited to see these products.
Me too. You know, very excited to have you joining me. You know, this pitch competition has honestly been something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And for the 5 of the brands that are about to join us and the hundreds more who are at home, you know, thinking about starting something, you know, I've been there. I see you, and stick with it. It's not an easy road, but it's a gratifying one if you are up for the challenge. So I see Ashley is back. I think, Ashley, you're going to introduce our first brand, correct?
Absolutely. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say what a phenomenal presentation. And I just love that video. Honestly, it just made me think back to one of my favorite products I've ever gotten in a FabFitFun box. I don't know if you can see it here, the Deep Sleep Pillow Spray. I just love the boxes so much because, like you were saying, they really do drive, you know, brand discovery of different products for people. And it's such a great benefit to, you know, not only the entrepreneurs that we heard from in that video of, you know, new consumers and lovers of their products finding them and discovering them, but it really does drive loyalty. I mean, I find if I get something awesome in the box and I just love it, especially if it's, you know, something that I can run out of, you know, I'm going to just go back and stock up directly with that brand. So this was one of my favorite items I ever got, but there were also this pair of fuzzy socks I got that were absolutely phenomenal. This was a fall box, I want to say at least a year ago, and I still have them and I still love them. So
you are choosing really good ones. I love this work. It's an amazing female founded brand. And the fuzzy socks were actually one of the brands that was featured in the video. So
amazing. They're honestly my favorite too. I, you know, like a lot of people, I sometimes get cold feet, literally, not just metaphorically. Bit of bad circulation, I guess. And it can be a bit of a lifesaver. So thank you for that. Thank you for curating such fabulous boxes. Fab boxes, as some might say, that we can all enjoy. But yeah, without further ado, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about the lineup we have for you today. As you judges might know, but our audience might not, we have 5 entrepreneurs that are about to come up here and tell you a little bit more about their business and their product. And, you know, hopefully you can see a fit with FabFitFun, and that makes sense. We have a good number of female founders here in the lineup, which I am particularly passionate about and excited about. So some fantastic women we're going to hear from today. Our first entrepreneur here. Oh, and just so everyone knows the format before we get into it, because that's probably good housekeeping. We're going to hear about a 5-minute pitch from each founder and about 5 minutes for Q&A. So about a 10 minutes total time for each founder will be up here on the virtual stage with us. And yeah, without further ado, our very first finalist of the day is Tosca Hillman. Tosca is the boss lady behind Glow Girl Cosmetics. This is a new day of beauty where the possibilities are limitless. From street chic to couture, beauty comes in many different shades and features. And she's here to tell us why Glow Girl should be considered to be a part of the FabFitFun world and that whole ecosystem that you were telling us about. So yeah, if we could get Tosca up here with us to tell us a little bit more herself, that would be great.
Hey, Tosca.
Good morning, Tosca. We can see you. Hi.
All right, Tosca, it's time for you to dive right in. Tell us why you guys should be in the next FabFitFun boxer sale. I don't think she could hear us.
Connecting to audio, typical Zoom. Here
Always
we go. It wouldn't be 2020 if someone wasn't on mute or connecting to audio.
Always.
But I think we're good to go now. So thank you so much for joining us. We're all so excited to hear about your products.
Oh my God, I just realized that I wasn't hearing anything that you said.
No worries. Well, to catch you up to speed, we've just introduced you and given everyone a little bit of overview about you and your products, but we would love to hear it from you yourself because you're probably your brand's best advocate.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashley. Hi, everyone. I am Tosca and hi, Katie. I'm with Glow Girl Cosmetics. And for the sake of timing, just so that you kind of know who I am. So I come from a very, very long history in the beauty industry, and I've worked for some of the biggest brands out there. And having worked for them, I always felt that, you know, women of color and ethnic beauty really weren't represented in the way that they could be and should be, because let's face it, they're some of the biggest consumers in the cosmetic industry. I mean, they buy it all. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to come out with some products that really could tell a different kind of story. I often get told all the time, like, well, what makes your brand better than anybody else's brand? And it's kind of, I get it's a genuine question, but it's a little bit frustrating because that would be like going to any other counter anywhere and just saying like, well, why should I be here? And so what I'm here to do with Glow Girl is I'm here to inspire people. I'm here to show them to celebrate all these beautiful women of the world. And I do it through my products, through the messaging in my products. So what I'm going to talk to you about is one of my products that I'm very, very proud of, which is my Goddess palette. So the Goddess palette, I'm an eyeshadow person. I love eyeshadows. And what I wanted to do was, I see a lot of palettes and I've seen them over the years that have, that celebrate goddesses. They're like the Greek goddesses. And I wanted to take a different spin and do the Egyptian goddesses. So I actually have a Goddess 1 and a Goddess 2. So the Goddess palette really started out with me wanting to have a message and celebrate queens. So I'll tell you, I'll kind of take you through both really quickly. The first Goddess palette, the outside imagery, this is supposed to be symbolic of onyx and gold. I really wanted it to have a treasure-like feel to it. And I wanted it to have meaning. So when you opened it up, now the pigments in these shadows are very, very strong. The opacity in them is amazing because obviously I was thinking about women of color. And I felt like if I could design something that had a good impact on women of color, then it's going to work for everyone. Now, the names. Notice that the names, I've had them done in turquoise because, again, it's paying a little homage to Egyptian treasures. So on the bottom, I put really powerful goddesses on here. So I did Nut, Mayat, and Sekhmet. Now on the bottom, the goddesses were put on the bottom because this whole palette has meaning. So I felt like the goddess, the immortal power, should be on the bottom, boosting and uplifting all the other categories of women. So from here we have like the warriors, which would be Angela, Asada, and Elaine. And these were women that I felt really inspired by from the Black Panther movement of the 1970s out here in Oakland, which is where I'm from, Oakland, California. And then, so you have the warriors. So you go from goddess to warriors to creative inspiration. And along the top, I have Maya, Nina, and Melina. And so Maya is Maya Angelou, Nina being Nina Simone, and then Melina, who is a civil rights activist out in Los Angeles. She is actually a childhood friend of mine before she was a civil rights activist, and she has these incredible green eyes. So I chose that purple just to not only celebrate her, but it's also a great color on her eyes. So when you look at the back of this palette, I put a little bit of, want to have a little bit of messaging as we're getting ready in the morning. And I get we're regulated to like Zoom calls, but I'm a big believer that first of all, All women are goddesses. And just because you're in the house, step up for yourself. Dress up for yourself. Don't just throw in the towel, because I know that when I put on a little bit of makeup, it makes me feel good. So on the back of this first one, it says a powerful inspiration of eyeshadows for the strong, the fearlessly bold, and the beautifully unapologetic. Find your goddess. And that is the energy that lives inside of you. Find that goddess, tap into that goddess. So for the 2, so I've said this before on different podcasts and on my lives that I do. The Goddess 2, I was so proud of the Goddess 1. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how am I gonna design it? What's the creative point to all of this? And people know that I subscribe to National Geographic. So I happened to be just, messing around, organizing some stuff. And I had the copy of the National Geographic commemorating King Tut and the Egyptian treasures. And on the cover was his tomb, and his coffin, his sarcophagus rather. And it was all gold and turquoise and really ornate. And I was immediately drawn to it because it was so powerful looking. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. And then it hit me creatively. I'm like, that's it. That's the design. So this is supposed to be symbolic of the golden treasures of Egypt. The turquoise, again, we go back to the ancient turquoise. Okay, the lettering on both palettes, I really wanted you to feel powerful, and inspired when you look at this palette. Now, the other part I started freaking out about, what could I say? What kind of message when someone's putting on their shadows or they want to read the back? What could I say? Oh my God. So then it came to me because I love writing in words, because words are very powerful. So this one says, be the goddess of your dreams or the woman of the hour. This supernatural mix of shimmer and matte eyeshadow allows you to be that and so much more. Find your goddess, claim your throne, walk in power. Okay. So then when you open it up, the first one was a little bit more earthy with shimmers in there. This one, I really wanted to give you a jewel-like experience. And I often mix in between the 2 palettes, but you have those pops of blue, a little bit of the purple, which is Isis. This palette, I stuck more to the goddesses with like a couple of game changers. And a little fun fact, Tandiwe, which is this one here, is actually a beautiful young civil rights activist out in LA, and she is the daughter of Melina. So this is my way of paying tribute to both of these incredible, amazing ladies. So.
Wow, that's so amazing. I love these palettes. I want to make sure the judges get a chance to ask you some questions about these products and your palettes. So yeah, Katie, please take it away.
All right, love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey. We were certainly intrigued by the beauty of the palettes and the story. The naming conventions, I think, are really unique and interesting. And I love how personal they are to you. When we talk about storytelling, I'm always thinking about how the founder is going to share why she created the brand, and that just comes through beautifully. So great job on that. Inclusivity is also something that's really important to us. So just a couple questions, and you touched on this a little bit in your presentation, but just want to understand, why are these shades inclusive for a wide variety of skin tones? And then also, when we think about inclusivity, it's not just skin tone, but also age range. And is this something that works on a large age range? Is it more for a younger audience, an older audience? But just love your take on that.
Yeah. So basically, the first part of your question, Katie, you were asking me, can you repeat that first part? I'm sorry.
So you touched on it a little bit, but inclusivity is obviously a huge part of your brand. Can you just explain why this is good for different skin tones?
Yes. Okay. So one of the things that I did see in my career in the cosmetics industry is that oftentimes I'd have to get behind these brands and train them, and the eyeshadows, just I'd have to put concealers and then primers. And so I needed something that was going to be very pigmented and not something that you see it and you say, oh my God, this is so pretty. It's this beautiful pink or brown. And you get it home and it's like gray dust with just a little bit of that color that captivated you to buy it. So these eyeshadows actually work on all skin types. A little bit goes a long way just due to the opacity and the high pigments. Yeah, I'll see.
I swatched it a little bit on my arm, but it's definitely, there is a lot of payoff, which is lovely. On my skin tone as well, you can kind of see the range there.
And so and the way that I judge that too is I know that, I'm not the most chocolate African-American skin tone. So I needed to really pop on me. So I know if it's popping on me in this type of way, I know it's going to pop on someone who's maybe 3 to 5 shades darker. That said, if you have product that is performing like that on a darker hued skin, then on fairer complexions, they need even that much less to put on. You're really, really going to get a nice color payoff on that. And so that was important that it's universal for anyone that wears it. Now, as far as like who Glow Girl appeals to, the irony in this is, and that's such a great question, when we've done big makeup trade shows, Glow Girl seems to have a universal appeal because while I highlight, when I say ethnic beauty for me doesn't just stop at African-American beauty, because growing up in the Bay Area, my friends were everything. They were Filipino, they were Mexican, they were Egyptian, Jamaican, whatever. So I celebrate world and global beauty. Now, as far as age range, we typically see a lot of activity in the age ranges 18 to 32, 34, and that's online. But when we go to shows, I've had customers say, wow, you guys really don't have a demographic, because it's so appealing. And I think we are living in times where people want to be inspired, and you find inspiration wherever you can, because let's face it, these are some really rough waters we're in right now. And even I know it's makeup, it's makeup, but when you're putting it on in the morning and you're reading my little sayings and you get that and it makes you feel good, that's a source of energy that you're tapping into, and so it's really about feeling good. And I think anybody can wear it. Anyone that loves makeup and wants a good color payoff, it's just you buy into what resonates with you. Does that kind of answer?
Totally. And where are you guys sold right now? Is it on your website? Anything beyond that channel?
Yeah, it's right now it is on my website. It's also on Essence, and it is I've got a couple of smaller boutiques, which I think due to where this whole platform, I'm having one of those brain farts, and I'm literally jumping off this platform to a really big retail meeting right after this for a big potential retail partner that I'm working on, and I can't really say much, but yeah. So, and then we've had past partnerships with Nordstrom Rack, with Hot Topics, and FYE for your entertainment. We've had retail partnerships with them as well.
And do you know your COGS for, let's say, 5,000 units?
For 5,000 units, it's going to be roughly, I would say, about $450.
Okay.
Per unit, somewhere around there, between $450, $475, depends.
Got it. I'm asking all the questions, guys. Feel free to jump in. We have to move on to the next contestant, but if you have a burning one, now is the time.
Just a quick question, like what is the MSRP of the palette and where do you see it playing in the market?
Oh yeah, so it currently retails for $26. And then you were asking me, where do I see it?
Yes, as far as like
in terms of like retail, or where do I see the brand going?
Sort of, who do you see as the biggest competitors or most similar products in the marketplace?
I do definitely see us in some of the larger platform retail spots. Obviously I could see us being a great contender for like an Ulta type platform, even Sephora. And as far as like who our competition is, I think everyone's doing a really great job of telling their own story. As far as African-American founders go, you know, I think we're kind of all within the same lane. Glow Girl Cosmetics is what I call urban luxury. So it's the ability to give everybody a little bit of luxury, but not be over the top in price. Current pricing on these retail for $26. And that's the urban part. And obviously I'm an ethnic woman and I tell kind of like urban luxe stories, which is what you see in my imagery, but I want people to be able to access the product without breaking the bank.
Awesome.
One last question, Tosca.
Louisa, did you have any questions before we move on?
I do actually. How important do you see the direct-to-consumer business versus the distribution through, you know, other retailers being the engine for your growth?
I think that where I see it going now, it's really important for all brands. As you can see, everyone's had to pivot. So really investing in and I hope I'm answering this the correct way. It's really important. You have to invest in your websites. You have to make it more of an experience. I think imagery is now more than ever so important, because you can have a great product, but if the actual images don't grab someone right away, they will breeze right over it. Just kind of, and I liken that to being in a department store back when we could be in department stores, and you see product and the packaging was fabulous. It was amazing. You're like, oh my God. And you're telling your girlfriend, you guys go buy it blindly because it's like, hey, this packaging was everything. And you get home and you're literally digging out the pot trying to get it to show up on your skin because it's like really crappy, cheap product. So, but they got you because the packaging was pretty. So for me, I feel like I have the whole package because I do have really good products, but I'm also grabbing you with my imagery too. As far as the importance of retail partnerships, I do still think that those are really important. There are brands that are doing it on their own, and I think that's wonderful too, especially if you have that audience. But where retailers come in, maybe not necessarily in a brick and mortar sense, but more so in the e-commerce online. Everybody's shopping online. So what big retailers have the ability to do is to push your brand forward and have people that are shopping online see it that wouldn't even know who you were. So that also helps. That's like free advertisement in a way. So did that kind of answer your question?
It did. Thank you. And I am actually wearing some of your products right now. So, you know, Bliss and Beat Face are being used.
Oh, awesome. Yay. I'm actually working on expansions for that category too. So.
Awesome. What a great serendipitous moment. Thank you, Tosca, so much for joining us and presenting. For everyone just tuning in, that was Tosca Hillman of Glow Girl Cosmetics, our first finalist pitching here today as part of our Pitchin with Kitchens competition. We have another great entrepreneur coming up here next. We have Sherilyn DeVita with DeVita Skincare. Sherilyn is a recognized pioneer in the natural, paraben-free skincare space. She launched DeVita in 2000 under the principle of creating a natural line of skincare products formulated with real ingredients that can deliver real results for everyone. So without further ado, I would love to invite Sherilyn up here to join us and tell us even more about her company and her product lines.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can everyone hear me? That's always the first Zoom question.
You're good, loud and clear.
Okay.
Now we can see you.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Let me start by telling you all thank you. Thank you for not only the opportunity to be here, but thank you for FitFun, because I've been a FabFitFun fan for 3 years now. Not only for myself, but I also include it in my daughter's Christmas gift each year, her renewal. And I also give a full subscription to, I think 3 of the ladies in my office have it now. as a thank you that just keeps giving throughout the year. So they're reminded every quarter, just how important they are to me. It is by far the best of the beauty boxes, by far, without competition. And I'm just starting a podcast now called Unconventional Beauty, and I would be honored to go and let our listeners be reminded of that. So thank you so much again for letting me be. I have to tell you, I do these things all the time. I'm the founder and CEO and the chemist behind DeVita Skincare. I have been in the natural product industry my whole life, pretty much. PhD is in psychology, but I've never been outside of the natural product industry. But I've been in the business now for 20 years. We dominated with our care line, the natural product sector. We're kind of reaching out now outside the natural product and getting a little bit more into mainstream beauty, because I think we're ahead of our time. I know I don't have a lot of time here this morning, but I've got a ton of fun stories about how this company started and how Sharon Stone got involved and how, blah, 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 all the name dropping. But this product, basically the product line came as a result of my wanting to be a full-time mom. And I started it out of my house. We had what I called a woman's work week, a mother's work week. So if you had children, bring them to work, go ahead and have the school bus pick them up, and they in front of my house. And that's when we started work. And at the end of the school day, we were done. We took off all school holidays, Christmas, any kind of a break, because this is skincare, not brain surgery. So it was nice because the kids didn't realize how hard mom was working while they were at school all day. So can I share my screen? Is that a possibility?
I don't see why not. Go for it.
Oh, okay, great. So I'll do this. Again, I know that we're doing this quickly. Okay, so I have this philosophy towards skincare is guided by nature, driven by science, because in the very beginnings of natural products and natural skin, basically, if it was natural, it didn't do anything. You had or you have to use the product for 6 months to see a difference, and that's not true. So a really strong background in chemistry, and I love being a woman. So I figure out a way to basically bring those two together. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So this is how the skincare looks on the shelf indoors, and we have a very big web presence. I call this a conscious beauty line with efficacy. Last year, I developed a patented aloe vera system called Aloe Hyplex, which is at the heart of all of our products. But the product I want to talk to you about being included in a FabFitFun box is our Wild Rose Exfoliating Cleanser. Why? Exfoliators are hard because they pulled out the polyethylene beads due to a non-eco-friendliness, and I totally understand. But at the same time, we couldn't use, or I've never endorsed using crushed walnuts or crushed, shells or salt or sugar, because those things scrub and they create capillary damage on the skin. And a lot of people seem as though the scrubbier the better, the harsher the better. I actually had a chemist to me once and tried to talk to me about putting micronized concrete, no lie, in the product line. But a year and a half ago, somebody came up with a fabulous idea, and a gentle exfoliator using eco-friendly through foaming micro sponge technology. What does that mean? If you have the sand in front of you, squeeze it in your hand, because if you went ahead and put a little bit of water in that and scrubbied it around, the little beads in there actually turn into little sponges. And as you scrub your face, it becomes more and more foamy and create more and more of an exfoliating effect. Plus we have essential oils in there, botanicals, antioxidants. It's a fabulous product. Makes your skin feeling clean and polished without feeling as though you just finished a microdermabrasion. This is all about aloe hyplex at the heart of all DaVita products. What is that? I've put together an organic high polysaccharide aloe vera along with a multi-molecular weighted hyaluronic acid. What does that mean? It means that aloe, being a natural conduit or a carrier into the skin, because of the hyaluronic acid, it enters the skin on two levels. It enters through the dermis and into the epidermis. So it actually carries the aloe vera into your skin, not just getting it washed off. And we do that with a little bit of Japanese green tea extract and a couple of other things. These little scrubbies are super absorbing polymers. They are eco-friendly. Think of it as, I didn't want to scrubbing bubbles because that was a product that I think it's still a bathroom clean these days. But our amazing scrubbies also thin and swell up the minute you put water into this equipment. Some of the ingredients in this include Plucentia volubulus seed oil, linoleic acid, almond oil, lavender, wild cherry. I have to admit that our products are a little bit on the higher end side. They're a higher quality. We have a lot of retailers that are looking to win at this time, and we're talking Sephora, etc. We have a large Amazon presence, a web presence, etc. We are, of course, cruelty-free, vegan, we're made in America, and we're Leaping Bunny certified. I'm trying to look real close at the, I have to apologize. Yesterday, my retina detached from my eyeball. So if I look like I'm a little cross-eyed, I can only see out of this eye right now.
Oh no.
Good Lord.
Well,
anyway.
You're still making it here to join us. Thank you so much.
You know, this was really important. This was really important to me. I have to tell you, it was important to me. I'm having fun with this. So again, this is the level of the line. Now, thank you again. I have right on the box, it was so important to me to create a line that was natural as possible, natural as it could be, and authentic as possible. No hype, no exorbitant costs, just real ingredients with real results. Because I'm kind of at the age now where I'm looking for those results. It's all nice what it says on the box, but now just real quickly as an extra incentive, I did an overrun on our cleansing cloths last year, and I have about 15,000 of these that need to be used up, frankly. So, whoops. So if you were interested and you did go ahead, decide to put this in the box, I'm more than happy to send those over as well. If you want to add a bone into that box, or if you want to hold them till the following box, I actually have a few different products that I'd be willing to share like that. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Well, thank you for an incredible presentation, especially after yesterday. Although I got to tell you, you look great. You came here, you owned it. So congratulations on that. There was a few things that caught our eye when we were looking through all of the applicants. One, obviously the eco-friendly micro sponge is hugely important for our audience. We just moved into a completely sustainable box, and we know that's something that our members really care about. Also, when we're looking at beauty ingredients, not seeing water as the #1 ingredient is also a big win. So seeing aloe as that first ingredient was great. And honestly, it just also smells really delicious. Same question though, to start out with, what are your COGS at 5,000 units and what's the MSRP?
The MSRP on it is $2,895.
Okay.
And in terms of what are my COGS at 5,000 units, I would love to give you that information. When I filled up the website information, I was calculating over here and I was filling it in and I sent it off, and nothing came back to me in terms of a copy of that information. I believe at 5,000 units, it was $10.
Great. And then as far as skin types, I definitely do not have sensitive skin whatsoever. I can use pretty much anything. But we know that we have a very wide range of skin types within our membership. Is this okay for use on sensitive skin? How
Absolutely,
aggressive?
and quite frankly, should have put that on the box, that it was specifically developed with the sensitive skin in mind, because I have very sensitive skin.
Ryan, you're up.
Yes. So first of all, I love the idea of including the wipes because our members love a bundle or a deal. So that sounds incredibly exciting. And secondly, exfoliators are legitimately my favorite beauty product. Scalp, face, whatever it is. And so I did try this, and I have to say my hand is markedly softer on this side where I used it. So definitely feel like it's working. I think my question is, how do you simply tell the micro sponge story? Because I think it's really exciting and it's very scientific. Obviously, you have an incredible scientific background, but what is in simplest terms, how do we tell our members what a micro sponge is and how it works?
Well, in the back of the box, I don't know if you have that box in front of you, it talks about the micro sponge technology and how it works and what your expectations should be. Really, when you think about it, for me anyway, it was a pretty simple concept to bring through to the customer. And normally, some of the products that we developed are pretty sophisticated, and it takes a whole lot more than 2 sentences to really sell a product. But just even on the front of the box, I have lightly polishes and smooths for a radiant complexion with eco-friendly micro sponge technology. I mean, that actually conjures up a picture in my mind of little sponges.
Yeah, great.
Charlene, tell me a little bit more about how customers are reacting to this product. What have you heard back from people who are actually using it?
Well, if you go look at our website or feedback on Amazon, it's all very positive. People do love the fact, we are an eco-friendly company. We've pioneered free technology. I did that 20 years ago. So we're very much known in this industry. So we're getting 5-star reports back. And just this is my very favorite thing that we just started doing on all of the inside of the boxes, a little inspiration. I kind of missed my day's therapist. And so this one says, find time for self. Did I answer the question properly? I'm sorry.
You did. I was just trying to get a sense for, what you and your colleagues valued in terms of the type of feedback you were receiving. And then tell me a little bit more about, whether there is any concentration in certain age groups or certain demographics. Who are your buyers and your consumers today?
That's a really good question, because our buyers have shifted in the last 18 months. We had changed our packaging totally in the last couple of years, and we found our customers were older gals that vintage, who were looking for ingredients to kind of help with getting down and dirty, so to speak. They were starting at about 30 years old. Now they're quite a bit younger. Our demographic starts at 25 now, and it goes to 56. I think part of that is due to the fact of the information that's available. And as millennials have entered this world, they're power hungry for information. They're not swayed just by marketing and pretty pictures. They want to know what the details are, what's the history behind it, why should I choose you? And they will stand there in a store aisle with their phones, Googling information before they make a choice, a buy. We talk to our customers every day. Our customers are really steering our company. What we want to know is what they're interested in and how can we best deliver that. My number one thing years ago was I want to be able to sleep at night. This is what I would want in a product. How do we bring that to customers? And we learned how to do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sherilyn. Unless anyone else has any final questions, I want to make sure we give enough time to the rest of our brands and founders here today. Thank you so much. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you for making it work. It's just incredible how many strong, badass women we've already had up here today, you know, making it through, constantly hustling with big pitches after this pitch here, and, you know, dealing with health issues and overcoming them. So again, just thank you so much for being here today and presenting to our judges and all of us here virtually in the audience. We have 2 more pitches that we'd love to get to this morning as part of our Pitchin with Kitchens. Our next entrepreneur and founder, Will Torres, believes that life is too short to run out of battery. So, you know, we need to learn more from him about how to stay charged, stay connected all the time, anytime, wherever you go with Toro. So everyone, please meet Will Torres of Toro Bracelets. Hi, Will.
Hello, thanks for the intro. Thank you. I'm blushing. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you can get us a little bit charged up here too.
Yes, absolutely. That's the plan.
Awesome. Well, take it away.
Cool. So I'll share my screen and get the show on the road. Cool. Can you guys see this okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. Again, Will Torres, excited to be here and share with you Toro bracelets. So I'll jump right into it. Travel smart and stay charged. That's the premise and message behind our brand. Essentially, what we offer is a charging cable disguised as a designer bracelet. The problem that we all face today is that we're constantly charging our phones and our phones are dying. Unfortunately, battery technology isn't as advanced as we'd like it to be. And our bracelets securely keep our phones charged while on the go. We love our phones, from working to travel to apps to social media. We're constantly on my phone, on your phone. I mean, I don't even want to look at my screen time right now, and just it gives me anxiety. But we love our phones, and now it's time to love our accessories that charge our phones. Quick story on how I came up with the idea. I was at a bar in San Francisco 2 years ago. Feels like 20 years ago. And I saw a guy, he had a Cuban cable around his neck, and my phone was dying. And I was looking at this guy, I was fixated on him. I was like, I would do the same exact thing. I just wish I didn't look like a guy with a Cuban cable around my neck. And that's when I realized I needed to have a solution and find something that could charge my phone that didn't look like a Cuban cable. And so I started on the mission to figure out what was going to fit my lifestyle, my image, my style, and was fashion first and function second. And that's when I came up with Toro, this bracelet. Some of the features, fast direct charging. Now, a lot of news is going on in the world right now with wireless charging. And to me, it's a gimmicky because it's inefficient, it's much slower, and it's finicky. You don't get it in the right spot, it doesn't work. We live in a now world where we need immediate satisfaction and charging our phones. We don't have time to wait to charge. So direct connection is going to be here for a while until we get true wireless charging. And then we got to worry about signal, radiation, and all this stuff. But direct connection is going to be here for a while. USB 3, which is the most updated USB format. Secure syncing, which is vital. When you sync your phone up to any new device, it's going to ask you if it's a trusted device. And my immediate response is yes or no. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I really don't read it and don't really think about it. But there's an article on an airport, how they were extracting a lot of personal information from people that were connecting to their ports without even knowing. That is not an option with our bracelets, completely secure. And so that's huge for us as far as security. Apple compatible. There is a big concern that Apple was switched over to USB Type-C. They're not. They're probably going to stick to it until the end of next year. And so all our bracelets are compatible with all devices, Apple and Android. Android has 2 connections right now. They have the micro and the Type-C. We have those connections as well. But right now we're about 85% Apple, and then the balance is going to be the Android, which is Type-C or micro. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Ways to use the bracelet. Now, initially, when someone says they need to charge my phone, they're looking around for a cube, a cable, and an outlet. With our bracelets, you can charge it with any USB port there is, from TVs, computers, to monitors, printers. I've even charged it in a party bus before and played music on it. So there's so many different ports. There's a lot more than there are actual AC outlets on the wall, which you can also charge as well. But from playing music, syncing your phone, and charging it on any device that you see, even from printers, like I mentioned. And then, of course, you have your power banks. I mean, from any type of power bank brand there is, you can charge it with the bracelet. So if you look around you now, I'm sure you guys can find a lot of USB ports. You can charge a bracelet wherever you go. This is the collection we have right now for our bracelets. The first row consisted of Mia, Ivory, and Madonna. Now the finishes and faux leathers are consistent with the name. Madonna, she was a rock star. We have rose gold and black leather on that bracelet. The next row we have Dice, Onyx, and Remy. That is more of the masculine line that we have. Onyx being all black. Remy, the name of that, I got it from Remington Guns. That's a gunmetal finish you see on that one. Dice, I'm not sure if you guys know that old actor that was on Entourage. I'm sure he did a lot more too, but that image sticks with me when I think of Dice. And then the last row is more of the unisex, with the Ivory, Penny, and Classic. Penny just being the color, and the Classic just being the classic. The top sellers are going to be the Mia and Onyx for women. Those are the top sellers. And for the men, we have the Onyx and Remy and Classic. So those are the heavy hitters in our collection. You know, in any business, you have to know who your customers are and where they live. Women make up 86% of our customers, ages from 25 to 34. And in second place, we have 35 and 44. Where they live is entirely important. They all live in popular cities, metropolis areas: California, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Texas, Austin, New York, all metropolis areas. People who live in that fast-paced life, who are on the go. That's where we see pretty much all our traffic is coming from those areas. The number one targeted word in our business is going to be travel. Travel companion, people who are planning to travel, people who have that anxiety when their phone dies, wherever they're at. Having this bracelet around your wrist gives them a sense of security and peace of mind that you can charge your phone wherever you're at. If you're on an Uber, you can charge it in the car. You're in the office, you can charge it in your laptop or printer. So having that anxiety of your phone dying isn't an option with a cable around, with a bracelet around your wrist. Next, we have some organic features that we have from Good Morning America, QVC, Forbes, Pure Wow. Of course, we do paid media, which is a big part of our business, but all these mentions are all organic. Every single one of them. We don't have a PR team. This is stuff that we've naturally occurred to us, that came our way, which we're blessed, and that really picked up a lot of sales. But yeah, this is something that our residual marketing has given us a lot of credibility. And then, you know, I know there's hopefully a lot of questions, and I sprinted through this, but can your bracelet charge your phone? And if it can't, then I can give you guys a really good deal on a lot of them. So with that concludes my presentation. Please let me know if there's any questions. I'll be pleased to answer.
Awesome. I'm sure we have lots of questions, and my Fitbit certainly can't charge my phone. So it sounds like I need to level up here and get one of these rock star bands that you talked about. But I will pass it off to our fantastic judges to get their questions over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Will. That was fantastic. I think we agree that when we were looking at the bracelets, we did feel like they were fashion first, which is something that is incredibly important to our members. They're super cute. I personally would wear one. I am also addicted to my phone, for better or worse. It is something that I'm actually working on, but until I get to that point, need all the charge that I possibly can have. And technology is one of the more challenging categories for the box, usually because of COGS. So just getting right to that, what is the retail price and what are the COGS at, let's do 5,000 units, because that's what we've been talking about so far today.
Cool, absolutely. So retail value is $39.99, comes in this bag with instructional manual right here, matte black. So it's a full experience, $39.99. We're getting these at out the door under $7 at a 20,000 unit value on a monthly basis. So the COG would be somewhere around there. But yeah, of course, the numbers go up, then we can, of course, push our numbers down too. So a sub 7 is where we're at.
Awesome. And where are you guys currently producing?
Shenzhen, China. We have 3 factories. The last factory is essentially assembling everything. And then the other 2 are finishing, braiding. I mean, our bracelet is, I designed it with a professional designer. It was meant to be fashion first. I didn't want it to look like a utility item. It was a fashion first. I wanted to be proud of it. I wouldn't wear anything that I wouldn't be proud of representing and wearing myself. So that was the first objective. And getting, this bracelet so compact was difficult, and making it look good. We have a design patent on this guy. But that was the first step. So, and then, I think 4 of our bracelets are 18 karat gold finish. So quality first. We have feet at the ground in China that constantly check on our manufacturers. So South China is where we manufacture everything.
I was just wondering, a practical question. What is your sizing? Is it one size fits most, or are there different sizes available?
Great question. So with ours, there's no adjustments because just the design, and I've stayed up countless hours trying to figure out a way to have a universal size. But there are 3 sizes. The most popular size is going to be medium. Next is going to be small. And then the men typically get the large. The variance in the 3 sizes are within 2 centimeters. So it's minuscule, but it does matter.
Got it. And then my other question is, what is your retail right now? Are you selling mostly through your own channels, or are you in any major retailers online?
Macy's online is going to be our biggest one. There's a couple other shops that we're in. The reason why we're not in other online places, I just find it so frustrating that not centralized. Having to check several other platforms bogs down our customer service and fulfillment system. We do everything in-house. So we don't have a third-party system. Everything is done in-house. So just having our team switch from platform to platform is difficult. So I've stayed away from drop shipping and stuff of that nature. Barnes and Noble, we're in 100 and some Barnes and Noble stores. Macy's, Barnes and Noble, and that's it. Oh yeah, and then exchange stores for military.
Right.
Yes.
Bill, do you see these affluent metro living female customers of yours actually ordering multiple bracelets to match their outfits and the seasons and whatnot?
Well, I certainly have a lot of bracelets to match my outfit, so I never have a shortage of that. But that's a great question. No, personally, no, but it is a wonderful gift giving idea. Like, this is something that it's affordable, and for gift giving in the season, it is it's bar none one of the best and easiest gift giving ideas presents that they can have. So the retention of these customers is just hitting them with gift giving ideas, anniversary ideas, corporate offices as promotional items too. So that's where the retention value really works for us, is the gifting someone on Valentine's Day, Christmas, stuff of that nature. So not personal use. They have one, they're going to probably stick to that one. But for gift giving ideas, it's right up people's alley.
And last question, just sort of given the state of the world where people are traveling a little less, have you shifted your marketing focus from sort of travel to just more everyday use? How has that affected the business?
Yeah, we've had to really rack our brains with how this pandemic is gonna, how we're gonna pivot. Working from home has been a huge message for us. The also is never be stranded without your phone. Those types of messages, as well as gift giving. Gift giving is the biggest one for us. So we really had to focus on giving. Travel, people do have a built up urge to travel right now. And so we expect that to pick back up. But then traveling safely and securely is something that, and given the peace of mind of what our product provides too, that's the chord we have to string with our customers. So no doubt it's been difficult. No doubt we took a hit in sales, but there's an uptick right now. So yeah, we more than ever, if it doesn't break you, it makes you stronger. And we've definitely proven to be stronger from the context we're in.
And how big is your team?
We have 14 people internally. We just hired 4 people on the creative side. So we do in-house media buying. Our creative is 4 people. Fulfillment is 3 people. So we're growing. We actually have 2 interviews next week too. So like I said, everything is in-house. I mean, Hawke is knocking on our door every second to work with us, and we've been holding them off. But we want to do everything in-house.
Does Toro have a power bank that could be paired with the bracelet, or anything else that works with the bracelet so that you can charge if you wanted to add on?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that, like, bracelets are cool, but it's not the whole gamut. We have our Toro bracelets is a product of ours. Toro Travel is their company name. So if you look at the last slide right there, that wallet, that's the Safani leather wallet with the one of a kind battery that is flexible and lightweight. You wouldn't even know there is a battery inside of there. And it's wirelessly charging too, that charges your phone. So that is an accessory. It's a high-end $250 brace wallet that can be purchased with the bracelets that work with it in tandem. And then also we have the power banks as well too, that costs $14.99. That's the retail, but our costs are $4 on those. The wallet is something that's the high ticket item too. And we actually give a bracelet when you purchase a wallet.
Nice.
Right. Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well,
that was fantastic. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm pretty fired up, as my colleague BST, or Scott Taylor, as you all might know him as, would say. And even though I'm fired up, I'm not yet charged up. So it sounds like I need to get a Toro bracelet myself. I'm sure some other people here that are listening and watching may be interested similarly. So Will, thank you so much for joining us and presenting your product to us today.
Thanks for having me. It was fun, and good luck with everything. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And judges, you've had some great shout outs in the Brand Club Slack as well. Everyone was saying that you're all so friendly and straightforward that it's more of a dolphin tank than a shark tank, actually. So just hats off to all of you that everyone isn't overly intimidated. And I mean, I think that probably speaks a lot to the brand culture that you've all built at FabFitFun, that it's just such a inclusive, fantastic, welcoming, and friendly brand. So it's obviously come through in our pitch competition today.
No, we hope so. I mean, we really think of our brands as our partners, and we wouldn't exist without them. So our goal is to, share how amazing they are to all of our wonderful members.
Awesome. And on that note, we do have one more entrepreneur here to join us at Pitchins with Kitchens, or as the Dolphin Tank, as it might be now colloquially thought of as. We have our final entrepreneur for today, who has a super interesting background. Well, getting her master's in art at Juilliard, so amazing, and running a six-figure tutoring business at the same time. This Harvard grad was fueled, well, obviously very impressive. I need to know, she was fueled by coffee and sometimes 9 to 10 cups a day. So I guess that's some of the secret sauce of how to make it through Harvard and Juilliard, if anyone is wondering. It quickly became apparent to her, however, that she did need to find a better, more consistent form of energy than, caffeine or coffee. And that's actually why she went ahead and created Rise, which is a mushroom-based superfood coffee. So welcome, Andre. Thank you so much for joining us. And like I said, we're all getting amped up and fired up here. So if you can tell us more about Rise and why it's a better option for everyone, we'd love to hear it.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here today. As Ashley said, I'm Andre. I'm the founder of Rise Superfoods, and it's great to be here. So I'm going to share my screen and give you a little presentation here. So as I said, I started Rise Superfoods. We started formulating last year, launched in March of this year. Definitely an interesting time to start a business. But I really created Rise because I needed something better. I was tired of waking up groggy, energyless, reaching for the cup of coffee, the next cup of coffee, and the next to get me through my day. I was feeling bad. I was feeling anxious. I wasn't getting enough sleep. And then the whole cycle would start the next day. Perhaps some of you can relate. And it's a bigger problem as well for the country at large. Over caffeine consumption is a huge issue. It doesn't just have negative effects for physical things, but also mental, with increased anxiety and jitters, even disrupted sleep patterns for the brain. So there are all sorts of reasons why coffee and over caffeine consumption is not sustainable long-term, which is why we made something better. Meet Rise, we like to call it coffee on shrooms. It's an instant blend, super easy to prepare. You just stir it straight into water. It can be made hot or cold. Some people like to put it in smoothies. It has less than half the caffeine of regular coffee, but has incredible benefits for health, focus, immunity, which we all know is very important right now, the gut and digestive system. And a little bit more about our ingredients line, because it's really what makes us special. We spent a year choosing these 6 mushrooms to put in there. And each of them addresses a different aspect of health, but I want to turn your attention to the last 3 here, shiitake, turkey tail, and king trumpet. You will not find these mushrooms in other mushroom coffee brands out there. They are too hard and difficult to source and expensive to produce, yet they have incredible benefits, and that's why we put them in there. It's for the consumer. We all know that coffee, acidic coffee, can be really terrible for our stomach lining and digestive system. King Trumpet is amazing for calming inflammation and helping the lymphatic system in the body. So we chose these very specifically to include in our blend, and each one is very important to us. A little bit about Rise versus others. So as we might know, medicinal mushrooms and mushroom coffee in general is really rising in the West. Now, medicinal mushrooms have been around for thousands of years in Eastern medicine, especially. They've been used as healing agents, but just recently they've become more and more popular in the West. But for Rise, we include more mushrooms than any other mushroom coffee brands out there because we see the value of each one. And we hear that from our consumers. They love how, you know, turkey tail helps their digestive system, how King Trumpet helps inflammation. They feel this, and that's the most important to us. You'll see here, we're keto friendly as well. Now, I just want to be clear, we're not like pushing or advancing any sort of fad diets. We do not believe in that. But we do include MCT oil in the blend, and that's what makes it keto friendly. MCT is just, if you're not aware, MCT is like a super healthy fatty acid that's actually derived from coconut oil. So it's completely dairy free, but it lends a like creamy texture to the blend, which makes it very unique and sort of indulgent. And then, as I mentioned before, we're low caffeine, low acidity. A lot of other mushroom coffee brands out there will have the same acidity actually as regular coffee, which does nothing to solve for the issues of coffee in the first place. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about why Rise and FabFitFun. First and foremost, I think our people are your people in the sense that our target demographic here is health conscious females. They're busy, they're moms, they're balancing careers and, you know, their kids and families and have little time for self-care. That's why something easy and quick and healthy is, you know, their go-to option. And another quick thing that I love about Rise is that it's super versatile. So we've had tons of our customers use it in all sorts of recipes. You know, you can drink it plain in water, but you can also make baked goods. You can put it in smoothies. You can put it in lattes. I mean, some of these pictures like just make me want to drool. And then just quickly, in terms of the market, we're situated in a pretty interesting place in the intersection of three really booming markets. Medicinal mushrooms have been on the rise for years now, and that trend does not seem like it's stopping anytime soon. More and more brands are entering, and that's you know, something that's we're always thinking about, how to differentiate ourselves. But I think the space that we're in, the intersection of these three categories, is super interesting. As I mentioned, I founded Rise and I teamed up with my best friend from college. He has industry experience in food and beverage. He worked at Kraft Heinz for big coffee brands. So he brings a ton of knowledge on the back end of, you know, consumer insights, market research, and we make a very lean, mean team, as I like to say it. I just wanted to share quickly about what's next for us. So this might seem out of left field a little bit because we are a food and beverage company, but we really believe in the holistic idea of a perfect morning ritual. And so it's gratitude journaling is something I've done for years now, every single morning, to enhance, you know, how I start my day. It makes me happier, more grateful. And so many people I know feel this too, but it's too hard to do. It takes too much time. It is a huge investment that a lot of people don't have. And so we have created a simple text-based gratitude journal. You get a prompt a day in the morning or a time of your choosing, and your responses get saved in a private, secure online journal. So you don't have to download any apps or any of that stuff. It's really simple, really user-friendly, and I think will make a big impact on people's daily happiness. We always like people to come to our social media. This is really important to us simply because we believe that customer experience is one of the most important things we can do now and for the long haul. And on social media, when I say it, I mean it, like have literally hundreds of conversations a day with our customers and future customers from day one, and telling them about us and our story and connecting with them. And we've seen how much value that brings to the customer. So I mention this because it's where we develop our relationships with our customers. And that's my presentation. I'd love any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Andre. I will turn it over to our judges to ask you some questions.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much for that presentation. It was great. Again, I think you caught our attention for a few different reasons. Similar to your trend forecasting, we've seen medicinal mushrooms, or magic mushrooms, as I like to refer to them, really creating a buzz in both the wellness and beauty categories. I personally take mushroom supplements every single day, and believe in the health benefits. So I think that's really interesting. I also do a daily gratitude routine. So I think that's an interesting twist that you guys are adding. Most of the time I do it at night because it actually helps with my anxiety, probably from drinking too much coffee. So I think there's a whole world here that's really interesting. Yeah. But so tell me, how out there, is there a lot of competition in the mushroom coffee market? Who are your biggest competitors and where are they playing?
Yeah, so the biggest one is Four Sigmatic. It's really, it's been around for a while now, and it's done incredibly well, which is really exciting. It's really opened a lot of doors for smaller brands, which is awesome to see. They have, a ton of products, a lot of diversity in their product lines. So they're sort of like the big bear on top of the mountain, so to speak. But in terms of like challengers, I think that there are a lot of other mushroom, or I should say coffee alternatives rather than coffee replacements, if that makes sense. So one that comes to mind is Mudwater. They actually don't have any coffee, and they have far, far less caffeine, but it's almost more like an herbal tea. It does have mushrooms in it, but they're sort of playing in a slightly different space. Same thing, there's a company called Moon Juice. So there are a lot of companies playing with the adaptogenic, medicinal mushrooms. Not a ton do the coffee because it's sort of a weird balance between energy and calming. And so, for example, I mentioned Four Sigmatic, they have a lot more caffeine and a lot higher acidity. So the blend itself reads much more like black coffee, if that makes sense. Whereas ours is a very unique flavor, and that's due to the mushrooms and the MCT.
Interesting. And I was actually enjoying it earlier today. I went through it and then had to go back to regular coffee because that was just what was heated during the competition. But, for people who are religious coffee drinkers and have sort of expectations of what the flavor should be like, how are you going to get them to try something like a mushroom coffee? Like, what is the hurdle of just sampling, I suppose?
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's something we wrestled with a lot at the beginning because there seemed to be a big barrier with taste, and kind of people thinking about taste first. And so we actually adjusted a lot of the language we used because we saw that if we led with benefits first, people would follow. Like, people would believe that they needed something better. And it was almost, I don't want to say psychosomatic, but it really matters how you talk about your brand. And I think at the beginning, we didn't have the right balance. And so we were highlighting taste more than we should have. At the end of the day, taste is subjective, and it's, coffee is so awesome and how it tastes. It's like, it's not a competition you want to try to race. But if you frame it in terms of like the benefits, I think we've been much more successful that way. And a lot of our customers kind of already have the intent of them not feeling, feeling good from coffee. They drink it, they like it because it's like this habit they have, but they know that they don't feel well. So honestly, it's been a lot of how we adjust our language in talking about it. And I have to say, like, we've seen a 180 in terms of the response from our customers. This is how we enjoy it, that we like to put it with oat milk. If you don't like the taste alone, put it in a smoothie, even add it to your regular coffee if you want a healthy boost. Like, there are lots of ways to take it, but the benefits come first.
Got it. Makes sense. And again, you're talking about habits and then linking it to the journal. I think it's really interesting. Where do you guys currently produce?
Our manufacturer's in California.
Okay.
And our warehouser is in Texas.
Andre, how do you sell to consumers today? Is it mostly direct to consumer via your website, or what other channels are you using?
We're only on our website for now. Eventually we'll get on Amazon. We want to keep our margins the highest by staying on our website for now. So that's how.
How many calories does a serving of the coffee have? And how does that compare? Because like traditional coffee, I assume is 0, right? If you don't add anything.
Right. People that drink black coffee are, they're about 0 to 5 calories, I think. We have 30 calories per serving. That's mainly due to the MCT. It is a fattier ingredient. But as we know, like keto can obviously like act the opposite. It won't break a fast though. We've had quite a few questions about people who fast or intermittent fast. It won't break a fast. I think you need like 40 or 45, something above what our blend is. Yeah.
I personally love MCT oil, so that part's really exciting to me. And then how much, what is your MSRP and what is your COGS at 5,000 units?
I'm not quite sure those numbers off the top of my head, but I can get back to you.
I also noticed on your website, you are offering a subscription, right? How?
Yes.
So tell us more about that. How has the subscription been working for Rise? What have you seen and learned so far?
So we've seen that, well, just to explain the subscription for a second, it's just the product. You at $30 versus $40, which is the one-time buy, and you can pick if you get it delivered every 30, 60, or 90 days. And what we've found is that, first of all, our subscriptions are rising month over month, which is really awesome to see. And I think that's due mainly to the fact that with continued use, people see the benefits. So, you need to take it consistently over time to start to really feel it changing your life and your lifestyle. And so with our subscription customers, we see that they keep going. And the idea is to really push more and more people towards that, because in terms of our business model, that's where we will thrive the most. I understand that sometimes jumping straight into a subscription, especially for something that's new or you're not sure you'll like, is scary for a lot of people, but you can cancel, no fee, no issue. So there's really no barrier in that way. I think it's sometimes more of a psychological thing of subscribing to something, thinking that you'll be roped in or something.
Andre, we know a lot about that. We know a lot about subscriptions and what that means. So fair enough. Who is your current customer? What's the demo look like?
So female, mainly, age 25 to 50, I would say, 25 to 55. Definitely health conscious. Moms are huge. I think a lot of moms live on coffee. They need it. And so we've seen that they like this sustainable version. And I forgot to mention, it's also safe when breastfeeding. it doesn't have caffeine. So if that's something that people aren't happy about, that's something to check with your doctor about, but it is safe while breastfeeding, which is a huge plus for moms. And they are health conscious, they are active, they are, they're juggling a lot. We've also seen a slightly different demographic, but really active, kind of outdoorsy adventure types. I know this year has thrown all of that into a little bit of question, but with the rise of COVID and everything, van life has actually become huge, and people living out of their vans, going on road trips, but they want something easy to bring with them, easy to prepare. They don't have their brewing pots and everything. So we've actually seen our product do really well with that niche. So.
Ryan, do you have another question?
I was just going to ask, you said that, it takes a while for people to get the full benefits. Does one bag get you to the point of the full benefits, or how long would one need to be drinking it to really feel the benefits?
Oh, absolutely. So there are 30 servings in a bag, which if you're doing it per month, it'll last you a month. When I said the full benefits, I would say you need to use it daily, at least once or two times for 7 days. And I think after that, that's been about the average time that our customers will report back, I'm already feeling better. But oftentimes it's before that. It's just if you take it once, put it away for a week, take it again, you're not letting those mushrooms and the adaptogens in them adapt to your body.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Well, I can certainly see why this is on the rise, as you would say. Very intrigued by these superfoods, and in particular medicinal shrooms or mushrooms, as you were saying. I've tried a couple products myself in the past. I'm going to have to check yours out. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us more about your products.
Thank you so much. Thanks all.
Awesome. Yes, thank you, Andre. That was such a blast. And thank you to all of the amazing brands who joined us today. This was so much fun, wasn't it, Ryan and Louisa?
Yes, 100%.
I don't know. I loved hearing about all of the products. I'm trying to decide which one I am the most obsessed with, because there's so much to like. Weirdly, I'm kind of into number 2. There's so much fun storytelling going on, and the way that she's able to describe the brand and bring all of these fun elements into play, I think would resonate really well with our members.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. I mean, there were a lot of fun stories here between butt crumble and all natural and micro sponges and the goddess look and feeling like a queen, right? Being charged up with your bracelet on the go. I think we had so many phenomenal pitches today. So yeah, fantastic way to start a Friday. That was our last entrepreneur of the morning. So that does conclude our pitch sessions. But Katie, I believe you had another announcement that you would like to make.
Yes, I think I have 2 announcements actually. So, just really loved this, guys. So much fun. But we have a winner of today's 2 things. We have a winner of the giveaway that we're doing. First up, so Aisha Ahmed, you are winning an amazing prize today. Super excited. You are getting our FabFitFun Fall Editors Box, which is awesome. Super excited. And then we're going to be sharing more about the brands that you heard about today on FabFitFun's Instagram stories. So if you have a favorite that you are watching today, please shout out, comment. We want to hear all of the feedback, because one of these guys are going to wind up in a sale or a box, and we love to hear from you. And we will announce the official winner of today's Pitchin with Kitchens competition next week on our Instagram.
Awesome. So everyone stay tuned. And if you don't already follow FabFitFun on IG, now's the time to do it. Whip out your phone, follow, like and share, obviously comment. I know they do all kinds of fun stuff there as well. And they've curated not only fantastic products in their boxes, but in their feed. So enjoy.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you, Katie, Ryan, and Louisa with FabFitFun. The fun continues in our Brand Club Slack.